hold your horses. Get ready to ride one more wild ride with Casino Guitars here. Click like, subscribe.
Hit the bell.
If you enjoy our content and all, and thank you for tuning in. We're talking about how expensive things might become and how the new normal might be $3,000 before you know it for USA build Fender,
The old,
Gibson,
yeah.
PRS. I'm talking like S2s and CEs.
Yeah, we're not talking core pieces, right?
I'm not talking core. That's already like $5,000. We're in La La Land
Yeah.
already. No, we have a staggering guesstimate. Within a year and a half, you will not see a USA piece. That, I mean, you might. You're going to see USA pieces sort of hitting 3K.
We're not saying they won't exist for like Fender, but
the
like
American Pro is still in that sort of sub 2 range.
Yeah, there is no production model right now. That's you know. We're getting close with the Ultra Lux, right?
The Ultra Lux is $2,500. We know there's more price increases coming.
Right.
We know there's new. We're hoping there's going to be more model SKUs coming out soon. But we've seen some of the, let's say the Mexican-built Fender pieces are sort of already getting close to 2K.
Well, that's,
like that one from Jason Isabel's was in that sort of
like 16, right? 15.99.
Yeah, so we know there's going to be some more coming down the road. That's going to be pushing that price up a little bit more, I'm guessing.
Well, they just can't live that close together. You know what I mean? It can't be like, okay, here's your highest tiered Build Mexico piece, and here's your essentially flagship. You know,
well,
they
that's where we had the American Original discussion, which has been discontinued. They discontinued before all this supply chain and cost increases like went through the roof, and that was like a $2,000 guitar.
Which
it was
seems like a steal.
1949, 1899 for some of them back when it launched.
Yeah, right.
And then it sort of raised up to like sort of 2049 was sort of the max cap out before they discontinued the line. And we keep hoping for them to launch a new series on it. We don't think it's going to be this year. So if you find one out there, get it.
Pull the trigger.
If you see any American Original, we highly recommend you getting it. Hang on to it. They're great guitars. We think the best deal on the Fender, that and the Classic Vibe Squire.
I was just talking about that with our friend Travis.
Travis passed?
Because Villains, baby.
Yeah.
If you want some good music, some cool music,
don't check out Because Villains.
Go to Spotify and check out Because Villains. He plays all the stuff himself. It's pretty fantastic.
He is good. I wasn't expecting him to be good because I like him as a person.
I know, and you're like, oh, this is going to be horrible.
He's actually pretty good too.
You're like, dang.
Because my expectations are founded because I like you.
Yeah, you know.
Got him. Got him on that one. Dead.
Nothing to say.
Lined him up with the crosshairs. Serious Sam there for you nerdy
Sick
gamers.
Burn.
You get it. Sick burn, bro.
I say that to my son all the time. I'll do the dad joke. I'll be like, ooh, sick burn, bro.
Your son's gonna be.
And he's just
Dude,
like,
my 5-year-old's like walking around saying, "What the hell?" Like, I'm like, "Oh God, we gotta get this out before." I did just show him Jackass, like over the weekend.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I can't imagine where he goes.
I mean, the mom's out of town for the whole weekend. Right? And she's like she's having a great time, her high school reunion. So I'm like, let's watch some funny. So I queued in like Jackass. They watched. I started Starship Troopers.
All the classics.
I'm not gonna let them watch it. I'm just doing this to freak my wife out a bit. Jackass, we did watch most of it though, but that's Jackass. It's okay. Starship Troopers, Troy, just so they can understand like how awesome Brad Pitt is. World War Z, just so they can understand how awesome Brad Pitt is. But just the first like opening scene, like where they're having breakfast and stuff, just so you can be like, oh, because my oldest son's terrified. I mean, all sorts of like terrible movies. I was just queuing in, and I sent pictures of them to my wife.
Cue the nightmares.
And then she's like, I watched Nightmare on Elm Street at the age my son is. I was fine. I didn't sleep for a week, but it was okay.
Yeah, I definitely watched some of those things at a tender age. Probably should have.
Hey, kids have to like learn to make mistakes, and you might as well learn with their father, right?
I mean, hey,
they have to get hurt a little bit along life, and they have to be psychologically damaged some too. Anyway, what were we talking about? I can't remember at this point. I know what we're talking about. I'm kidding. So the American Original is no more.
No.
If you see one, get it. The Jazz Masters are ridiculously good. If you see one of those, grab onto it. The Strats, the 60 Strat.
The whole one was great. Yeah, there was none of those guitars I didn't like.
But if that comes back out, it's got to be $2,500.
At least.
I feel like when they do re-release it, it's not. So if you can get one, get it now. It'll probably be a whole rethink of like this new feature that you feel like you have to have. It might be great. It might not. Sometimes it's just an added feature.
Yeah.
The Ultra Lux is at 25 already. I feel like that will be 26.75 probably in the next price increase, somewhere in there, $2,650. So it's inching towards, so like 3K will become, the Les Pauls are there now. I think they're $29.99 now at Wildwood.
Are they?
Yeah, some of them went out. Like, I know the Wildwood spec ones are, like where they get to choose their tops.
Right.
That's the thing, a lot of the sort of like showcase, whatever level they call it, there's always made
like
it worse.
still the USA, but yeah, like the...
You're like the Grand Flag dealer or something.
Right. Yeah.
The Grand Poobah.
Yeah, Grand Flags.
Yay. Like, so you're this, you can have this, and they can pick their tops. A few other shops can do that, and it's a little bit of an upcharge because they get to hand select their tops, which is funny.
But we're all moving into that, you know. 3K, man, that seems so... It's funny because in my brain, custom shop stuff, when I hear about Gibson Custom Shop or Fender Custom Shop, I'm like, okay, well...
I used to think 3K.
Well, I did too. But I mean, my brain computes like those high prices because in my brain, those are luxury sort of guitars.
I mean, this guitar was under 3K when I bought it. New. This Fender
sure.
Custom Shop of mine. Somebody else has been playing. That neck is grimy. I don't
It wasn't me.
I know who it was. Yep, somebody else grabbed this thing. I can tell. I know exactly.
But it's just hard for my brain to think 3K for like production level pieces.
It's a lot. And from like listening to the CEOs of these companies talk, there's not a turn away from this.
No.
It's and they're sort of modeling their Epiphone Squire lines and the SE lines to sort of fill that void that we've been used to being a production line cost. And don't get me wrong, I know prices have to go up. I'm tired of like feeling I'm the old man complaining like, back in my day I paid 25 cents for a movie theater. I don't mind that movies cost $10. I go on Tightwad Tuesday, so it's half. But I don't mind that that's the normal. Like I paid that for a movie the other night when I took my family to go see Top Gun the first time. And I was totally happy with it. I feel like that's well deserved. That movie probably cost, I don't know, $200 million plus.
Sure.
And I think Tom Cruise deserves my money.
Well, you know, the thing about it to me, right, is like, so Gibson in particular just had we all know the saga of that, right? But they pretty much, the lawsuits and well, not even that, but even before that, the bankruptcy going back a few years.
Too.
Where they were pretty much forced to say, hey, Les Paul's, our production USA stuff is too expensive, and they brought prices down. But we're going to end up right back.
That's all been evaporated.
Yeah.
Because even like during all when we were all locked down for a bit and we're getting checks and everything, all that money's gone and evaporated into into the gas pump.
Yes.
You know, it's like they got it back. They're like, you know, seemed awesome for a minute, but then that fantasy land went away quickly. I would send that money back in a heartbeat, just to have people. Well, that's not what it was for some people. No, but I know a lot of folks were getting it that didn't need it.
That's true.
You know, too, like people that needed it, it's awesome, but I know some restaurants that got it that they were doing just fine. I know some other retail shops that were doing amazingly well that still got it. I thought that was a little bit silly.
And then some people who probably could have really used it.
I knew some restaurants that did not get it.
Yeah, like that. Businesses or people who were self-employed
or just, you didn't know the right person at the bank or something too. It was a tricky thing.
It's all tricky. Yeah.
But you know, we all came through it well. But you know, I feel like the guitar manufacturers are going to have to be very careful because we do have some economic ups and turns happening right now, and if they overprice themselves, it's damaging to the brand, I think, too.
It is.
And so I just want to see where we end up. I don't like the idea of 3K being like the normal for anything. I hope we don't get there for everything. But we're fast approaching. Like, I mean, the Silver Skies have gone up. That used to be, you know, a low 2s. Now we're rapidly on the north side of getting close to 3.
It's coming quick. I mean, nothing's really there yet, but man, it's hard to not look at it and say, okay, this is going to be the reality in maybe a couple years, year and a half.
Yeah, I think within 2.5 years, I think American Pro 2s will probably be there.
God,
it'll be in the American Pro
3s
at that point. God, this guitar is dirty.
Hold on to your old American Standard.
You do have a standard from like circa 2015. Yeah. You're sitting in the canon right there. Even I was talking with the gentleman the other day just about he's wanting to sell his old Elite from like the 80s. I'm like, man, hang on to it for a little bit longer if you can. If you don't bond with it, get rid of it. But
if you don't need to sell it, right? Like, there could come a day when those are fetching quite a bit more money than they do right now.
Yeah, the lace sensors are like kind of a thing now.
Coming back.
But again, if everything crashes, nothing's a thing anymore. But I don't really...
That's the fine line you got to walk, right? Like, hopefully, you're not in the situation where it's make or break, do or die. You know, it's fine to hold it and wait. But But yeah, it's tricky times all around.
I know, that's why if you're wanting your guitars and you have a target on one, no matter where you see it, just get it. Hang on to it, put it in this case, put it next to your bed, get a few toys, stockpile them away before, like, you know, the prices on the new ones.
Yeah, if you can do it.
Break a hole in that roof.
Yeah.
What do you think, J-Rob?
Buy guitars. It's the secret to happiness and long life. Your wife will love you.
I mean, if your wife starts playing guitar, you'll be buying more guitars too, though. Think about it, because she'll be like, "Oh, I want a T-shirt to play electric guitar."
We've been down this road.
Okay.
We've been down this path early on in our relationship.
She ain't gonna do it.
We tried for a little while. In fact, she has an acoustic, but yeah, no. I think there's no desire. No desire for guitar
What
playing.
kind of acoustic you get her?
It was some like horrible Washburn thing.
Okay.
I mean, it's fine.
I have a horrible Washburn.
Elijah
Some
plays
Washburns
it.
are great, but mine is not great.
It's not horrible is maybe the wrong.
Mine is
you know,
pretty
it's just
horrible.
very okay.
I keep it just to like remind myself of like what not to do to other people.
No, well, I mean, this was 20 years ago.
Yeah, mine's older. Yeah, it's old. It's like got like archaic electronics in it, and it's awesome though. It's so weird. Got the weird sharp cutaway.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah.
Thanks for sticking around with us and scheming with guitars and sort of seeing how these crazy prices have become a runaway stallion on us in some aspects, and hopefully we can keep them within the realm of reason if we moan enough to the companies, maybe.
Probably not.
Probably
I
not.
doubt it.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think in the comments, though. Are we right? Or are we being pessimistic? Maybe so.
I
hope so.
I don't think there's no right way. It's getting there. But thank you for letting us know it's going to happen.
There you go. Thanks for hanging out.
We're gonna go talk about Tom Cruise
Yeah, that's what we do most of the day.
all day, every day.
Most of the day.
Or Sean and his girl shenanigans.
That happens too.
Popular man like Sean Kidd.
Yeah, it's true.